Unexplained security breaches, cybercrime, chemical and biological weapons. Growing concerns about these and other threats and their potential widespread impact have made security a top priority for governments, businesses, and individuals. The need for vigilance and preparedness has never been greater. Your actions as a security officer in protecting people, property, and communities are important to the success of the security industry. You can make the difference. Private security officers frequently support law enforcement officers, but each group has distinct roles and responsibilities. This video will give you an overview of the role and responsibilities of private security officers and how they differ from other security professionals, such as law enforcement officers. The role of a private security officer is straightforward. Simply put, your role is to detect, deter, and report possible threats to property and people while performing your duties at the client site. Specific duties are outlined in your post orders. Post orders are the detailed instructions and duties that must be carried out in order to protect people and property at the client site. Post orders are written based on client needs and requirements and are different at each location. Information in the post orders includes regular duties to be performed during each shift, how to contact your supervisor, how to contact client representatives, and a list of emergency telephone numbers, including how to contact the police, fire department, and emergency medical personnel. But the basics, to detect, deter, and report possible threats to property and people, are part of every security officer's job. Detect means to actively observe. A security officer must be alert and constantly vigilant in observing the usual, so you can spot the unusual. Security officers often are able to detect suspicious situations and potential fire or safety hazards. This is vitally important in preventing or reducing damage or loss. Deter means to prevent from happening. Security officers, just by their presence, can often deter criminal acts and prevent potential damage. For example, regular patrols of a client's facility or property can avert unauthorized entry or vandalism. Report means to notify someone. Part of every security officer's duties is the timely reporting of all incidents and unusual situations to proper authorities, including the police, fire departments, and emergency medical personnel. Quick, decisive action often prevents or minimizes injury and loss. In addition, security officers may notify their coworkers, supervisor, and client contact. Security incidents are documented in various ways, depending on your client site. You may use a logbook, a daily activity report, a pass-down, or incident report, or a combination of those items. Check with your supervisor to determine which method you'll use. How do the detect, deter, and report responsibilities of a private security officer differ from the functions of a law enforcement officer? There are several important differences. Clients retain private security to provide a safe environment for customers and employees, to protect their private property, and to detect, deter, and report unusual or hazardous situations according to post orders. Clients do not employ private security to catch crooks. That is the job for police. In fact, a security officer has no more authority than an ordinary citizen. Police officers are employed by state and municipal governments to protect public areas, including streets and highways. They have authority, under the law, to enforce laws and ordinances. Normally, police officers are not stationed on private property, although they will respond to calls for assistance or reports of crimes on private property. Once law enforcement officials respond to a call, they and only they have the power to arrest, detain, and process people through the criminal justice system. Private security officers do not have this power. Because a private security officer is not a police officer, a security officer has no special authority to arrest, use force, search, or detain people. This is very important to remember. A security officer's powers are limited and do not include arrest techniques used by law enforcement. An arrest is defined as anything that restricts an individual's movement. That includes locking a person in a room, grabbing, holding, or even touching an individual. threatening a person with gestures or statements, and ordering someone to stay where they are. These and other similar arrest techniques are commonly used by law enforcement officers. If a security officer uses these techniques, the arrest may be found illegal. In some cases, the security officer can be arrested, prosecuted, convicted, and imprisoned for using illegal arrest techniques. The security officer also could be sued personally, and lawsuits could be filed against the company by the victim of an illegal arrest. That's why it's important to remember that the role of a security officer is only to detect, deter, and report threats to property and people, not to perform the functions of a law enforcement officer. Every security officer's job is different, depending on client requirements and the responsibilities to be performed at each post. But all clients expect a standard of service that everyone at Securitas strives to meet and exceed. As a new Securitas Security Services USA employee, you will receive a Security Officer's Handbook, which includes company policies and guidelines related to your job. This is an overview of some of those policies and guidelines. Reporting to work on time is essential. That means arriving at the client site, being at your post, and ready to work when your shift begins. Reporting on time isn't always easy because of unexpected delays. But you need to think ahead and expect the unexpected by allowing plenty of time to get to work. Proper grooming is another important responsibility for all security officers because of client expectations for neatness and professional appearance. For both males and females, your full uniform as issued must be worn and must be clean and neat at all times. You will be required to provide your own plain black shoes. Plain black socks or hose for women must be worn along with a black belt. Only jackets and sweaters issued by the company should be worn. Additional appearance guidelines are listed in the Security Officer's Handbook. Bear in mind that clients will notice if your appearance and attire varies from the guidelines. When on duty, you are representing Securitas, as well as yourself. Your appearance and actions will reflect on your professionalism and our service commitment to clients. Now, we'll move on to discuss the importance of post orders. Because post orders will vary from client to client, you will receive specific training when you are assigned to your post. Be sure to understand all duties and requirements of your post, and review your post orders frequently because they may change. If you have any questions about your post orders, ask your supervisor. First, be sure you know the general duties of your post, then go on to learn the specific requirements. Second, know how to use the post orders book to look up instructions you'll need to perform a specific duty. With practice, you'll be able to quickly refer to the proper section and review the instructions. Sometimes, a client may ask you to do something that is in conflict with post orders. You'll best serve the client in such a situation if you first refer the request to your supervisor. Next, follow the directions of your supervisor. And finally, record the request in your daily report. Communicating well, both verbally and in writing, is a critical part of every security officer's job and is necessary to meet client requirements. During every shift, you're responsible for writing daily report entries that are clear, concise, and accurate. Your daily report is an important document because it is the permanent record of events that occur at a client's site or post. Daily reports can be used in court or legal proceedings many years after the entries are made. That's why clear writing and accuracy are essential. Events that should be included in the daily report include signing on duty and off duty for each shift, noting the beginning and ending times of all post tours, and documenting all unusual incidents, activities, and special requests. To make all daily report entries as clear as possible, follow these procedures. Print all entries, except for your signature, since handwriting can be difficult to read. Write with a black ink pen. Do not use pencils. Be sure to sign your name at the bottom of each daily report. In addition to recording the beginning and completion times of all tour patrols, document any routine or non-routine situation that affects safety or security. Give sufficient details to identify the situation and provide essential facts. Tell who was involved, what happened, when it happened, and if known, why and how it happened. Do not speculate or draw your own conclusions. Simply state the facts as you know them. Do not include slang, jargon, or discriminatory remarks. Because daily reports can be used in legal proceedings, they need to be maintained as valid, accurate documents that have not been changed or tampered with. That means that you should always enter each event in order of occurrence and never enter routine activities in advance. If you make an error, draw a single line through the entry and initial it. Do not erase, blot out, or cover up entries so they cannot be read. Do not use liquid paper or any other cover-up substance. Keeping accurate, orderly, and readable daily reports will help you document your performance and help our company better serve the client by identifying and understanding situations that need to be addressed. Securitas strives to consistently achieve the highest standards of conduct, protection, and service. By carefully following all company policies and guidelines, you'll contribute to your personal success and the success of our company.